Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here this afternoon. My name is Lucia Kaniukova from GIC Innovation Agency from South Moravian region, whose mission is empowering people to create businesses that can change the world. I spent the past 13 years working in connection local companies, startups, with R&D organizations and corporations to find new cooperation opportunities. And I'm pleased to be your moderator for this afternoon. This meetup is the third of the regular meetings that help to bring together actors in the field of artificial intelligence. I would like to introduce my colleagues. Honza Bárta, Brno.AI Platform Coordinator. Welcome, Honza. Hanka Musilová, it's our event manager and technical support of this event. And Lucka Herbočková, marketing specialist of Brno.AI. Thank you for being here. Now, before we begin, let me remind you a few meeting instructions. So, audio connections. By default, you will be on mute to avoid external noise and disruption during the presentations. If you can, please have your video turned on to allow for more personal interactions. Asking questions, you can use the chat to send the questions to the speakers. That will be visible to all participants. Please, thank you. So, connection to other apps. In addition to connection in Teams, you will need to connect to Menti app at the end of event. You can visit the menti.com and use the code. You will be visible at the end of the presentation. And finally, I would like to point out that we will be recording today's online meeting. After this online session, we will share names of the participants as well as speakers' presentations. So, are there any questions you would like to ask? If yes, you can use the chat. If no, we can continue. So thank you very much you are here. Over 170 people were registered at this event. Not all of them were given the opportunity to present or introduce themselves. Don't worry, nothing is lost with this. There will be another opportunity, believe me. There's very exciting afternoon plans. So what awaits us? Honza Bárta, who is in charge of the platform Brno.AI, will introduce future plans and events of this platform in the next 5 minutes. After him, you can hear two very interesting presentations. And then the Happy 10, who will introduce their companies or R&D organizations during 2 minutes. GIC calls this event 120, and it's nothing than speed dating for companies or researchers. And then the short conclusion and final words. So, now it's the time to give the words to my colleague, Honza Bárta. Honza, you can share with us your presentation. And the floor is yours. You're welcome.
Thank you, Lucia. I would like to tell you something about our some closest activities. It's working great. We start to create an overview of the AI ecosystem in the South Moravian region. So we are starting soon after today's meetup. And it will be kind of a map covering companies, universities, R&D teams, as well as individuals. As the first input, we will use the information provided by you when you have registered to our meetups. And the missing and further information will be collected in the next steps. And we will appreciate any help from you with gathering and processing additional information. So if you want to work with us on the AI map, please contact me as soon as possible. And I'd like to invite you to 3 interesting events coming soon. Firstly, JIC 120 seconds focused on smart cities at the end of April. And the date isn't fixed yet, but Brno.AI is the partner of this event, so you will get more information by email from us very soon. The second event is the 6th International B2B Software Days in Austria. I mean, virtually is in Austria, as it is this May, so it's going to be online. JIC is supporting this event. And the last one is my invitation to the official introduction of the Czech version of a free online course, Elements of AI. So you can watch our friends from Prague.AI, who has translated the whole Elements of AI and supporting Elements of AI in Czech Republic. And it will be on YouTube next Thursday. So we are welcome to all of these 3 actions. And that's all from me. And let's go on with our program. Lucia?
Thank you, Jan. Now it's the time for 2 speakers. I would like to point it, there will be plenty of time for questions at the end of presentation, but you can use chat during the presentations to send questions to the speakers, and we can ask them to answer it after their presentation. So unfortunately, Jiří Materna felt ill. He was at the program. So we offered his time to very special guest, Petr Chmelař from GreyCortex. It's the really interesting startup cybersec company. And today we are pleased to welcome Petr Chmelař from GreyCortex. Petr Chmelař is the Chief Research Officer at GreyCortex, and he has 15 years experience in data mining, machine learning, artificial intelligence, with a focus on cybersec. And today, he will be sharing with us his presentation named Security Monitoring of Critical Infrastructure and Healthcare. With that, I ask that you give your full attention to Peter and help me in welcoming him to the virtual stage. Petr, the virtual floor is yours. Can you hear me?
Thank you, Lucia. Nice introduction.
Thank you.
Hello.
You can share with us your presentation. Super, we can see it.
So hello, everyone. We are GreyCortex, and we are at Brno.AI Meetup because we are from Brno and we do AI. But the real purpose of the presentation is to get more training data. So if you like or dislike my jokes, please write it in the comments. I will start, like you already heard this joke. What is the difference between AI and machine learning? Here, because it's in PowerPoint, it's artificial intelligence, but we do it in Python, so it's machine learning. Very brief introduction, how we use it. So we use the machine learning for network traffic analysis, threat detection, deep network visibility and response to help local and national governments, critical infrastructure, medical institutions and enterprises like worldwide to make their networks more secure and reliable. The map shows our critical infrastructure and research partners. And I'd like to focus on the medical sector, that when we have monitored the situation in Czech Republic, there were like at least 23 campaigns targeted more than 10 hospitals, which we try to help with together with state authorities that were under corona-related attacks, and the following attacks were significantly reduced. We have also examined the vector attacks and learned how to better protect against high-profile breaches and supply chain attacks. Well, we have learned the damage and how AI can help. This is how the hospitals saw their infrastructure at the beginning. We helped them to organize their view from the point of information technology, from operation technology, which are these modalities like ventilators, and cybersecurity view. So they gained the visibility into the segments. They have various type of devices, their operating systems, and the services, how they communicate each other. It's quite important to see who communicates with who, all the misconfigurations and behavior of entities. We have detected many types of related attacks. We employ standard techniques of IDS, which we have like 70,000 of rules. We have millions of threat intelligence records, but that's not important. And that's how I stop with cybersec now. I will explain you our methods very briefly that are based on AI. First of them, it's AI, not machine learning, is the discovery. So we find all the devices in the network, describe them, and we model all of these devices. So then we can have some outlier detection. So whatever strange happens, we can report it. There are flow anomalies like too many something or scanning or whatever, communications with too many nodes or some wired communication. Also, we can detect machine behavior, which is like repetitive communication all the time, again and again, on limited number of IP addresses, for instance. Then anomalies in DDoS, etc., and for instance, web application firewalling. So we can quarantine them. And this is how it looks in the user interface. Basically, we have simulated the ransomware attacks similar to that encrypted disks in Czech hospitals during the first wave of COVID. And you can clearly see that we can detect these activities basically hours, but usually also weeks before they caused the damage. Well, that was the serious part, and here comes the funny part. The picture here shows or presents how such an anomaly can look like. Basically, the first one is bigger than the others, so it's a volumetric anomaly. The second suricata is like a normal one. The third one is not a mercat, it's just a plain cat. But the fourth one is the real, interest. And basically, like, have you ever seen suricata with the flash drive? I can explain you briefly how we do this, and I think the best is to explain it on a joke. So classification, anomaly detection, clustering, and deep learning walk to the bar. The bartender asks, "What will you have?" Then the supervised classification model says, "What's everyone else having?" Because it wants the most probable drink in the bar, and we use it to identify known attacks. Then the anomaly detection orders something no one else is having, not even the bartender knew they had it. So we use it for detection of unknown attacks. The unsupervised clustering orders a bit of beer, bit of wine and whiskey, and we'll have a terrible hangover. So the thing is that if it was semi-supervised, it would listen what the others say and avoid the hangover for the next time. But the deep learning say nothing because it doesn't have enough training data yet. However, at the last call, it orders exactly 1.056 pints of beer, and this is the perfect order, but it took it somehow longer because it needs more data, but the answer is perfect. So I hope you understand this, and I can present our research all together. We do a lot of interesting things. Like we have 5 ongoing projects plus 4 internal, but we also like challenges. We have started with some success at US-based NIST challenges, and we constantly improve our techniques and AI. For instance, we recently became winners of Amazon's AWS AI Challenge, which give us the opportunity to develop deep learning models for detecting, learning, and sharing indicators of compromises based on the MES platform and using this deep learning. But definitely we would like to do research on suricatas. I mean, like improve the anomaly detection and how it relates to cybersecurity, which is basically research topic number 1. Then we are interested in sharing threat intelligence, and also we have some European projects with very interesting partners on the research in the medical area. We do this for about 12 years now, but we are still looking for the possibility of research cooperation and threat intelligence sharing, and basically whatever in advanced AI.
Tak.
So thank you for watching.
Koukám na to, jak husa do flašky, protože si čtu ty vaše.
Thank you for watching and cooperating with GreyCortex. And also thank you for adding some more interesting jokes and comments on like this, what I said, and thank you for new training data.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Petr. Are there any questions to Petr? I can't see any in the chat. So maybe not. If yes, you can put the question into chat and Petr will be great to answer it. Now the second speaker, and we are pleased to welcome Aleš Pernikář. Aleš received the opportunity to be part of a new project aimed at automated quality assurance of software and hardware using a robotic system in VAIBE Corporation. And today he will be sharing with us his presentation named AI-Powered Computer Vision for Robotic QL. Aleš, it's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, hello everyone. So please confirm that you can see the presentation.
Yes, you can see.
Great. So let me continue. So I started working in Microsoft 7 years ago on this project, and now I would like to present you what we achieved and how we got there. So you might know Microsoft SafeQ for its flagship product. So Microsoft SafeQ is a print management solution for companies to manage their printing, scanning, and copying. And usually, as a user, you send some of your print jobs to the server, and then you approach the multifunctional printer and you release the print job. Also, part of the software is actually on a third-party machine, which is the multifunctional printer. And there are various vendors that Microsoft SafeQ is compatible with. So the key question is how to test and how to make sure that everything works as expected. Additionally, testing in general is repetitive and boring. There are many manual activities connected to it, and it also, during manual testing, there is a long time to get feedback from testing back to the developers. So with our mindset to automate, we started developing what is now called an RQA. So RQA stands for Robotic Quality Assurance. It's an automated quality assurance of software and hardware. So the main part is the robot that interacts with the terminal, with the display of a printer from a user perspective. So it doesn't know how the system operates internally. It only looks at the user interface of the printer, or of any other touch screen and does the testing. So this is actually a black box testing and QA. Now, the RQA is compatible with various devices, mobile phone, voice of terminals, DMFDs, but also in the bottom right corner, you can see an interface of a Linet patient bed, which also has a touch screen and buttons. And RQA is capable of operating this for testing purposes. Now, let me give you an example how the testing using RQA works. So it composes of several steps. Usually the first step is authentication at the terminal. So either by a card or PIN or some username password. So the robot enters this information as provided. Then the robot navigates to a screen that is desired. So I will talk about that a little later, how the robot is able to navigate to various screens. And then in that screen, the robot does the action to print, copy, or scan, and then verifies the success or failure of such an action. So not only we see the user interface, but also we have other peripherals to help with this. So in the bottom left picture, you can see paper sensors that detect that some paper actually came out of the printer, which is the most important thing usually when doing with prints or copies. And when everything goes successfully, there is a complete report of this test scenario. Robot navigates back to default screen, changes back to default settings, and it continues with another test case. Also, the capability are to measure how long it takes to change a certain screen. So when a robot taps a button, it measures how long it takes to navigate to the screen, which is great for performance tests and to compare performance between various versions of the same software. So whether the software is getting slower or faster, or it stays at the same level. This is very, very important and valuable for developers. And when you think about how a developer could manually measure such a time with a stopwatch, or just visually, that would be nearly impossible to do in many iterations consistently. Now let's move to really an important part, which is computer vision for RQA, and this is where the AI is hidden and it's applied. So here you can see the first-person view of RQA. So so the camera above the device sees this, the robot operating within, and the actual display of the device. You can see the frame around the display. This is used for finding the interesting part of the image. And so what's called a calibration of the camera. So in the image processing, it automatically finds these corners and then transforms the image to something like this. So this is really the interesting part of the image that we evaluate. Now, we want the RQA to be accessible for new users. But with AI, you need many training images and much more data than is provided. So we thought like generating these data automatically. So we purposefully generate distorted images with some rotation or changing colors or changing focus or something like that to have one image that is provided from the user and to generate many images that are then used for training. This way, user doesn't need to provide thousands of images, but these are generated automatically. Now, let's talk about how the features are extracted from the image. So starting with the image on the left-hand side, an edge detection is performed. So you can see in the second image, and then some morphological operations are performed to complete contours or to hide some noise in the image. And actually, talking about noise, there is a lot of it in the image because it is actually like a screen, and we scan the screen with a camera. So it's not a clean image as from a paper or actually outside. So there is some of the noise, which is mostly ignored here for the evaluation. Then the key part is building a descriptor from the image. So so using the descriptor is an iterative process. The image is binary, so we are interested in the amount of features in the image. And in the first iteration, the features are extracted from the whole image. And in further iterations, from smaller parts of the image. Here you can see from half, from 1/3, from each third of the image, one number is extracted. And this is done in horizontal and vertical ways. So all these data are then like combined to one final descriptor, which is around 2,000 numbers long, and it contains numbers from 0 to 1. And this one final descriptor really describes the image in much detail. So finally, we use this one descriptor in an input layer of feed-forward neural network, and at the output layer, there is the classification. This is a classification task. So from the unknown image, the image processing classifies, okay, this is screen A or screen B, and so on. Now, one final note here. So apart from all what I said, the RQA also enables remote work. So there are no engineers, no developers in our office, only robots. So what is sufficient is that one robot operator visits the office once or twice per week to replenish paper in the printers, but otherwise robots operate the printers. Actually, developers can operate the robots remotely and do their work which they need. So yeah, robots help us even in these times. So this would be all from me, and thank you.
Thank you very much, Aleš. I can see question in the chat. Please answer it if you can. There are some points from the presentation. There are great things to inspire other companies. So thank you very much. And now to the speed dating part. Each representative who will be presenting received instruction that has 120 seconds to present the activities of the company or research organization and focus on areas for possible cooperation in order to stimulate further meetings and discussion afterwards. So please feel free to contact these people if you are some interesting projects or some business opportunities, cooperation. So it's up to you to write them and start a discussion between possible cooperation. So I can start with Pavel Dvořák from Konica Minolta. Pavel, can you hear me and see me?
Yeah, I can hear me as well.
Thank you very much. So you have 120 seconds to present your offer and expectations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. My name is Pavel Dvořák. I'm from Konica. I'm the leader of the computer vision analysis team right now, and we were on in the computer vision. So we work on application, machine learning, AI technology to camera-based systems, a variety of applications. Our main focus currently is Industry 4.0. We work on our main products are currently in visual quality inspection, so automating the quality inspection and other processes in factories, manufacturing, etc. What we offer, but in natural language processing, as we have one team working on semantic understanding of text, documents, and other things that are in a company. We can also offer research positions and internships to students or of professional people, and also collaboration with the research institutes, universities. We are interested in with universities on projects on different kinds of by is a great news. And what we expect from AI is to be and would like to in touch with us, for example, from university to have the possibility to apply.
Thank you very much, but I have some technical issues, technical problems. I cannot hear you properly. I'm not sure if anyone more.
Yeah,
so
us neither.
So you have this information on the presentation we will share with you, so you can. Audio was bad. Yes, I totally agree. So maybe if you are any question to Pavel, please feel free to contact him. It's right.
Okay.
Thank you. So we will move to MoroSystems. So please, Červinka, can you hear me, Jan?
Loud and clear.
Thank you very much. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you too. So very good afternoon, everyone. Maybe just to phrase it before I start, we are not focusing on AI itself, as most of our people here do, but we have our clients and partners who do. And basically what we do, we are technological partner to these companies. Basically, we bring in the complex knowledge we have from our past and recent big corporate projects to small companies and startups. We do focus on simplifying tasks, basically bringing the exact data to the right people when they need it. So our main focus is usually on the fintech projects, which is actually quite helpful because thanks to very big demands which are in the industry and regulations in the sector, we can easily use the expertise in other industries. So basically anywhere where we have to work with big and large data sets, or even small or complex or something tricky, we know what to do and how with the very, I would say, with the least effort. So to put it simply again, we help our partners and clients or companies we choose to cooperate with various tools like customer portals, CMS, which is content management systems, progressive web applications, information systems, DevOps lately. Actually, that's a big thing. And well, the connections to AI itself. So there's a lot of companies who focus on it. I will mention one right now. The most interesting one is a company called s.r.o. It's actually American Silicon Valley startup, which is a revolutionary telco tool which helps to kill the Zoom fatigue, which kills the creativity. So s.r.o. You can check it out, or you can just contact me and I can tell you more about any other projects. And yeah, we are from Brno.
Thank you very much, Jan. It was very interesting presentation and offer. Please feel free contact Jan to stimulate next discussion. Thank you very
much.
Thank you, guys. And thank you. Now it's time for Hana Rudová from Masaryk University. Hana, can you hear me?
Yes, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm an associated professor at the Faculty of Informatics at Masaryk University. I'm teaching many AI courses for our master students. So they are about advanced AI, scheduling, constraint programming. That actually means that I meet every AI student in our faculty. For example, today, 2 of them are in the list of presenters. We are working with students on various problems broadly related to scheduling and routing using meta-heuristic search methods, constraint programming, or mixed integer programming. My work is inspired by real-life problems coming from practice, and I concentrate on approaches which allow us to solve these practical problems. If I should just select one of them, I should definitely discuss course timetabling, university course timetabling. I have initiated research and development of the Unitime course timetabling system, which is used for course timetabling of many faculties, most of the faculties at our university. It is used at many institutions worldwide, including, for example, famous MIT. Just to give you some example how I can cooperate with my students with some company, less than 2 years ago, we started to work with the Vereldo company on freight transportation problems. And now we work with them on nice industrial problem together with students. They right now have algorithms we have proposed and implemented to compute routings for the set of vehicles to serve demands on transportation of goods. So if you are interested in a similar cooperation with us in the area of transport planning or scheduling, I will be definitely glad to discuss it with you. Bye.
Thank you very much, Hana. It was a very interesting offer, and you are the right people at the right place. Thank you. And now the floor is for Jan Rygl from AI Czech. Jan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Thank you for speaking. So hello, everybody. I'm Jan Rygl from AI Czech. We are a new artificial intelligence studio situated in Brno. You are probably asking, there are so many AI people here. Is there enough space and opportunities for a new studio? And our answer is yes. There are still too few AI companies to cover the needs of the Central Europe sector. We are a small self-funded Czech company, and our specialty is natural language processing and voice technologies. However, we do not focus exclusively on one specific product. We offer custom AI development on demand. Many of you here are experts in your fields, working on amazing products or doing superb research. But what is great about technologies is that there is always space for improvement. We want to connect AI solutions, enhance them, and help customers to find the best matching AI products for them. We do not look for one-time deals. We would like to create a partnership with our clients and help them grow sustainably with AI. And what else are we really good at besides NLP and AI? We have a team of experienced people. We value a happy customer and, of course, honesty. We don't want to sell big fancy products that your companies don't need. Also, we see companies as a whole, and we want to find solutions that will implement nicely in all processes and involve firm. If I got your interest, feel free to contact us. We can discuss your company or product and figure out if there is something we can make better together. Thank you for listening. I'm the quickest one. May AI be with you.
Thank you very much, Jan. And now Ivan Nečes from Red Hat.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Perfect.
Please, the floor is yours.
Cool, thank you. So yeah, I'm from Red Hat, which is an open source company known not only for Linux distribution that we are working on, we are providing many other enterprise software the open source way. So when it comes to the AI ML, we are actually an Ouroboros in here where on one side we provide the software that can support the AI workloads, which includes the operating system itself, storage, Kubernetes distribution that can run the pipelines and the processing, as well as the software on top with either provided by us or in cooperation with our partners. So it's one use case or one case where we come with the AI. The other one is actually applying these approaches to or against the data that we have around the software health and using that to improve the experience of running our software, where we apply both supervised and unsupervised learning, anomaly detections, bias detection, and like whatever we find suitable for our use case. So what we expect, or what I expect from this group, is actually learning what others are doing in this space, both in space as Brno, as space as the AI ML. And what we can offer is working with you on academic research cooperation that actually has quite a long history in cooperation with universities on research and diploma theses. And the good thing is that we are actually quite keen on being open source company, which is a great place to actually do this kind of activity. So if you're interested in both using open source software for the AI ML, as well as applying the AI ML approaches against the software health data, please let me know, and I think we can find a good way to cooperate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ivan. Now is the floor for Stephen O'Regan from United States Embassy. Stephen, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thanks a lot, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, and thank you, everyone. My name is Stefan O'Regan. I'm joined by my colleague, Martina Sivek, and we are science directors for the Office of Naval Research. We are based in the U.S. Embassy, Prague. Our mission is to build bridges between leading scientists in Central and Eastern Europe and their counterparts in the United States. We're looking for revolutionary ideas at the very fundamental level in science. We're not looking for products. We're looking for those wacky ideas that nobody else would fund you to look into, but could be the starting point for science and technology 20 or 30 years from now. So I look forward to telling you more about our mission in the next meeting, where we'll have a longer presentation. But generally, we're thrilled to be here. My colleague she is Czechoslovak by birth. You can see by my name that I am not Czech, but you'd be wrong. That's my father's side. On my mother's side, we come from Znojmo. So I'm happy to be speaking to my Moravian cousins, and look forward to working with all of you. That's all for now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Stefan. So if you have any question or some question to Stefan, please feel free to contact him. Yes. And then next, Michal Štipl from PatentEnter company, IPR company. So Michal, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I hope you can hear me as well.
Yes, you can share your experience, offer, and expectations.
Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Michal Štipl, and I'm a physicist working for PatentEnter, where we tend to all matters concerning the industrial property rights, such as trademarks, industrial designs, and of course patents. In the recent years, I started to focus on so-called software inventions and software patents, because they are forming an increasing number of patent applications filed worldwide. And the artificial intelligence is a great example of how can the software be used as a very powerful tool in many technological and industrial fields. I think many of you know that you can use neural networks for detecting patterns, and as such they can be found in agriculture, where they detect weeds among useful crops. They can be used in production plants, where they detect defects in the manufactured components, and as such they can control the manufacturing process itself. They are also in robots, industrial robots. The AI gives them some degree of decision making. It's in smartphones, it controls cameras, it's in embedded systems, it can enhance simulations. The point is there are hundreds and thousands of examples of how can you use the artificial intelligence. And of course, the vast majority of them is either protected by patent or in the pending process. So my point is that it is very useful to know not only if your solution may be eligible for patent protection, but also to know if there may be some industrial property of your competition or competitor which you might be infringing. So if you'd like to talk about this more, feel free to contact me and I will gladly wait. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, thank you very much, Michal. And now Alice Soukupová from ReloCzech.
Hello, hi, greetings everybody. I'm Aleš Soukupová from ReloCzech. I am representing this new company. We have nothing to do with AI, as you can probably see. We are working in immigration stuff. We are providing immigration service for mainly employees. We are focused on companies which are employing foreigners, if not just robots. I hope mainly your colleagues are people. And thank you for this opportunity to speak with you. We are doing mainly blue cards, employee cards, and other stuff for European Union, so temporary residences or everything what is just needed. So if there is anyone who needs some support, we will be happy if you will contact us and discuss what is needed. It's very, very flexible, and we are happy to help with just everything what you might need. So if there is anything, please let me know. That's all. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the evening. Bye.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you for your support. And now it's the time for Daniel Kvak. Daniel, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So, dear colleagues and fans of AI, I would like to introduce you to VAIBE Technology Company. VAIBE Technology aims to find the practical use of artificial intelligence in musical composition. The motivation is the use of generative architectures, including the ones we know from natural language generation, and training techniques to automatically learn musical styles from any data sets. Although the project was based on my academic research with a focus on creative artificial intelligence, it is conceived commercially, looking for the main focus in so-called production music. So that's basically advertisement jingles, film music, and more. Unlike similar projects, we at VAIBE make sure that the output of our model does not have to be further modified or improvised by a team of musicians. I truly welcome the creation of the Brno.AI platform. We would like to use this space to establish interesting contacts with people who, for example, are dedicated to combining art or creativity with artificial intelligence. However, we are always open for cooperation with other commercial or research entities that would see the potential in creative artificial intelligence. Although we are currently going through a rough period, we know that inter arma silent musa. We believe that the interconnection of cultural areas, art, creativity, and artificial intelligence might provide some interesting unexplored combinations. Thank you for your attention. And in the meeting chat, I will paste a couple of audio samples that our current program is currently been able to generate so far. Thanks again.
Thank you very much for your input in chat. And now Jakub Mareček. Jakub, can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Hi, Jakub. Jakub is my schoolmate from high schools.
Great to see you and great to be here. So I'm a native of Brno, but for about 15 years I have eloped first to the UK and then to Ireland, where I have spent over 7 years at IBM Research, so I have a lot of patents awarded and whatnot, and some academic work in AI. And more recently, for the past year, I am now a tenured faculty member at the Czech Technical University, and I lead some work in AI for chess. So unlike all of the startups we've seen so far, chess is sort of a large presence in the Czech Republic, and otherwise a large power utility in the sort of a European context. With a variety of assets and a large client base. And today we've released our sort of a 2020 results with about 200 billion koruna of revenue. And some of this is sort of a generation, and some of this is trading, and both the generation in terms of unit commitment and trading are driven by mathematical optimization and control. And we have multiple job openings across trading and beyond. And so if you were sort of interested in positions in energy, we are very keen on hearing from you as individuals. And if you have anything else you would like to surprise me with, I'm very happy to sort of hear from you otherwise. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jakub. I will surprise you because I will write you an email and send you any tips for cooperation from portfolio from Brno, which are really interesting to know it.
My pleasure. So.
We will see and we will talk about next cooperation. Thank you very much. And now we have 3 companies which are interested in presenting. So Dalibor Vyas, can you hear me? If not, I can ask Matej Kvaššay.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Matej. You
Okay.
can continue.
Thank you very much. So I'm actually one of the former students of Professor Hanka Rudová. So I hope it was me you remembered. Thank you for that. And I work as a data scientist in Deutsche Telekom Services Europe, which is a company that provides mostly accounting, procurement, and these kind of services to usually other companies within the whole large Deutsche Telekom group. So here in Brno, with my colleagues, we're part of a program called AI Incubator. And this program applies machine learning, data analytics, and other technologies to basically automate some of the things that our company is doing for the customers. The first main area that we focus on is natural language processing when we work with unstructured text. We do things such as assessing quality of written description, classifying or analyzing sentiments, suggestions from surveys, or processing invoices, documents, pulling important information from them. And then another large topic that we focus on is time series analysis. So we do things such as forecasting for some important financial indicators, spending, things that are then useful for doing decisions on the business side. From time to time, we have open positions. Mostly it's data science positions. And we do not only hire colleagues from a computer science background, but also from economics, finance, statistics, and so on. So I think we have a quite good company culture. I think we work on practical projects. And what I like the most about our use cases is that in a lot of them, we actually have tons of data. So feel free, if you would be interested, to maybe get in touch, talk about AI, or even about some possible future cooperation. Feel free to contact us and we can discuss more. Thank you.
Thank you, Matej. And the last participant is Michal Kozubek from Masaryk University. Michal, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. So the floor is yours.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michal Kuzubek. I'm from Masaryk University from the Faculty of Informatics, and I'm the head of a research unit named CBIA, that's Center for Biomedical Image Analysis. And as the name of the unit suggests, we attend to the analysis of both biological and medical images, such as microscopy or magnetic resonance images, in 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, or even a time series of 2D or 3D images. Nowadays, image analysis is primarily done using AI, especially deep learning methods are employed in the segmentation of images, detection of objects, detection of events, classification tasks, or even tracking of objects in time dimension. In our research unit, we attend to all these tasks and solve real-world problems supplied by our partners from biological institutions as well as hospitals. We are also employed or engaged in the Czech Bioimaging Consortium. I'm vice chair of Czech Bioimaging, responsible for image analysis services in biomedical imaging in the Czech Republic. And we are also engaged in Eurobioimaging, that's a European consortium for biomedical imaging. And we have quite large national as well as international network of partners that we collaborate with, but we are still open to further collaborations. For example, now we are establishing a new project on AI in oncology. So we welcome also new partners for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michal, for interesting projects, and cross my fingers to all the projects you work on.